Building blocks for success for people with ADHD. I know how difficult it can be to focus on anything when you have ADHD. And it's important that you have to break things down to its simplest form. If you do that and you train your brain how to do that, it's going to be a lot easier. The reason is we as people tend to overcomplicate everything. I say this all the time. People complicate everything. It's like, I don't know why. I have a very complex mind, but I'm a really simple person. I love simplicity. And part of the reason I think I love simplicity so much is because I have so much going on in my brain. I don't want chaos around me. And this is important when you have ADHD because you get easily distracted. You're doing something and you get derailed and you move on to something different and you never complete one thing. That's the problem with ADHD. But you can overcome that, and that's the good news. You can teach your brain how to simplify everything. And if you stick to that, it will make your life much easier, and you will find that you are far more productive. It's a struggle. I know it. I live it. I've lived it my whole life. I was not diagnosed until just, a couple years ago as an adult. But I always knew I had it. Back then it was ADD. I always knew, but I was always able to kind of work through it. But then when I had a brain injury, after that, forget it. I can't. So I am medicated. But if you are a medicated individual for ADHD, you know that not all days the medicine works. Some days it doesn't. Some days I'm like, did I even take it? I know I did, but my brain doesn't seem to realize that I did. And you're going to have those days. It's just the way it is, it seems. Anyway, so if you start teaching your brain how to break everything down to its simplest form, that's your foundation, and that's where you want to start. Any task should start at the foundation by breaking everything down to its simplest form, and then instead of trying to take it all on at once, one step at a time. Break it down into baby steps, even if you have to. Tiny steps if you have to. Because sometimes our brain can't handle the whole entire thing. Looking at the whole entire thing, it seems overwhelming because our brain is so chaotic to start with. So break it down and find the easy step to start. And then accomplish the first step. If you have to write it out, but just accomplish the first step. And then praise yourself for finishing the first step, and then go on to the next thing. By doing this over and over and over, repetitive training, basically, you're changing your mindset. And you're teaching your brain how to break things down to its simplest form so that you don't feel so overwhelmed and it's easier to start. Because sometimes just looking at something and you're like, wow, no, not today. So then you put it off and then it compounds itself and blah, 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 right? So what you want to do is just take a tiny baby step. And that's up to you. You know yourself better than anybody, and you know what works for you. And as time goes on, as you start doing this and you start being more productive and accomplishing more, you can try taking a little bit bigger steps. But by doing the little steps at a time, you're not overwhelming your brain because your brain is already overwhelmed. That's the whole problem with ADHD. You have way too much going on in your brain and you can't shut it off. So take a step at a time. Finish the step and then go on to the next step. And if you learn and you teach your brain how to do this, it makes life a lot easier. And you will learn how to be more productive by taking smaller steps. It may not make sense to other people, and it doesn't have to. You don't even have to explain it to anybody how you're doing it. Just do it your way. And like I said, one step at a time. If it's a 10-step process, take 10 baby steps to get there. Doesn't matter how you get there, just get there. And once you start training your brain how to do this and breaking things down to its simplest form, you will not feel so overwhelmed and you will be far more productive. It's really pretty simple and it's pretty basic, but that's kind of the point. You don't need any more complication in your life because you have enough of complication going on in your brain. So try it. Good luck.